What's going on, everybody? You guys are now tuned into the Re-Up podcast. Today with me is my co-host Hector61. Today we have a very special guest joining us live on Zoom from Cleveland, Ohio. Her debut mixtape, Sounds Like Summr, is out now on most streaming platforms, and she's also been a big designer, working with people on Tumblr, Compound Community, Best Apparel, and has even inspired designers and artists like Alime and Sweetie. Let's give a warm welcome to the talented and beautiful Brittany Hicks, aka Sumrr. How's it going, Sumrr?
Woo!
Y'all put the whole
All right, awesome. So we were originally supposed to talk to you in our studio in Brooklyn, like face-to-face interview as always, like that we were doing before the whole coronavirus situation happened, and that's pretty much been kind of messing up everyone's schedules for the most part. How has it kind of like affected you and like recording and kind of like maneuvering business-wise?
Of course, I can't record right now. So that was I believe that was like the biggest setback, because I was in the middle of literally a couple of songs that I wanted to be done by a certain time, and now I have to wait to do them, which is cool. So other than that kind of bothered me, but I have been a lot of things and playing with different apps and still recording and practicing on apps just so I can, have it all together. So when I do go to the studio, I'll have these demos and I can just go and record it and be good. But I have to learn a lot of things in this time of just really sitting still.
I mean, for the most part, do you pre-plan when it comes to like your recording process? Like, do you go into the studio with a certain mindset or theme that you want to talk about?
Definitely. I try to get at least the melody down, and then most of the time I do freestyle. I feel like when I freestyle, that's when I'm good. Like I feel like that's what I do best. Like, especially if it's a good beat, it's all popping. Or sometimes I could write, but I do write all my music.
So is interviewing though through a screen a little bit like weird or awkward for you? A better question, do you think like this type of like meeting right now is like the new type of like meeting? Because we got FaceTime and we got other face-to-face apps. So do you think like that's the new norm, or are you more of a face-to-face person?
I'm more of a face-to-face person, but when it comes to interviews, I am like shy. I thought I would be good, but no. So with us doing this via FaceTime or Zoom, it's kind of cool for me.
Gotcha.
I'll be like, I don't know what to say, and I hate like
right, nah, for real.
Yeah.
You don't really give off like a shy type of personality though.
Yeah, for real.
That's good. That's so good.
Awesome. So you know what? Let's try to get to know you a little better. Like, who is Sumrr? Like, tell us about your background. What made you get into music, and pretty much everything that fans should know about you or people should know about you right off the bat.
Sumrr is goofy. People always think like when they first see me, she look like she's stuck up. No, I'm very down to earth. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Raised on St. Clair. If anyone knows that. I did a lot of sports in school. I started off singing when I was 4 years old. Here's a story that I always tell people. So basically, when I was 4, every time somebody would go to the bathroom, I would stand outside the bathroom and like give them a little concert and start singing. And ever since then,
that's dope.
Okay.
That's weird. If you think about it, I'm just like, why they doing their business? I'm singing. But ever since then, I just always wanted to sing. Like, always wanted to sing.
So well, I mean, you said you played sports in high school. Did you ever think about like pursuing a sports like type of career? Like, were you ever that athletic where you were like, sports is like what I want to?
Sports, yeah. I wanted to go to college for cheerleading. Like, I was so gung-ho, and I always wanted to sing, but I was always afraid to sing until I got like 19. So yeah, but back then I always wanted to sing, but I definitely did. I was like, yeah, I might just do cheerleading for a long time and probably join somebody's team or something like that in the future. But I always wanted to sing. I just never put action towards it until now.
Going back to that story that you told us about singing for people outside of the bathrooms and all that, where did that kind of passion come from? Did it come from like just trying to make people's days, or like trying to make people happy, or was it kind of like you just being bored, or like just like not knowing like where to put that talent
make
exactly?
people happy.
Perfect.
And I love, like, I don't know why, I just love to sing. And it's not really much people in my family that sing besides one person I know. So I don't know where I got it from, but it just really made me feel good. I think that's where it came from. I just love music overall.
So it's just a passion, pretty much. Like you knew from an early age that was like your passion, even though you didn't know it was gonna be a career. You knew that was something that you loved to do that made your soul happy.
Yes, definitely.
And that transpires perfectly now that it's kind of taking it more well, you are taking it more seriously as a whole career type of thing.
Yes.
So it's perfect.
I had to step outside my shell.
That's
I hear
perfect,
that.
honestly.
I hear that. So, I mean, getting into your career, though, you said that you started singing early by the age of 4. But who were some of your, like, early influences, though? Like, who were some people that, like, it could have been famous musicians, but in general, like, it could have been family members. Who were some people that you looked up to that inspired you to pursue your career now?
I'll definitely say Amy Winehouse. I am a huge fan of her. She's very soulful, and I really love her wordplay. Like, it's just off the charts. Rest in peace to her. But I really gravitated towards her music and like that type of genre, real soulful, passionate, with a little twist to it. And then I also love instruments. As y'all can see, I incorporate a lot of instruments, live instruments in my music. I really gravitate towards instruments and beats and stuff. So she does that with her music.
Yeah.
And I really love Michael Jackson, of course. Like, he's my all-time favorite performer outside of Beyonce. He's and I like him because he's real versatile. So that's another thing that I want to incorporate with my music, is to show how, versatile you can be with everything. And that's why I really love Michael Jackson.
Perfect.
So those are two I could just think of right off the bat.
Nice. We did some research on your Instagram, actually, and we actually kind of found out that a couple artists that you also kind of like maybe listen to, maybe correct us if we're wrong, but like Gorillaz, Coldplay, Clams Casino, like people like that. So those also like more like more recent type of artists that you've actually kind of centered yourself around.
Mm-hmm. Right now, I am listening to a lot of BBND. If you guys are familiar, it's a band. It's almost like FKJ. Okay. It's hard. I don't know if you guys know them.
Yeah, I've heard of FKJ here and there.
Okay, yeah. Like, I love music like that. Like, you don't necessarily have to have lyrics, but if the beat sounds beautiful and well put together, that's all you need. Like, I love feel good music, and I get a lot of my taste in music from my mother, because she, instead of just playing rap all day or R&B, she played everything. And like, my first person that I remember that was different from the music that you hear every day was Enigma. Okay. And since then, that's where I kind of carried the ambience, like the type of vibe I'm going for when I talk about BBNB. I really love that.
That's perfect. Band. That type of sound is really cool, personally, for me, because I'm a huge Gorillaz fan. I've been since I was a kid. Same. Like my family actually put me on to Gorillaz, actually in Colombia, because in Colombia, Gorillaz is actually huge. So they actually put me on to Gorillaz. Yeah, so they're huge. And Coldplay, I remember my first concert ever was a Coldplay concert in Connecticut. And it was such a dope experience. It was you should be. It was amazing. So nice.
My sisters.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry. Yeah, one more thing. And like, Clams Casino is one of my favorite producers ever. Yeah, Clams is like perfect. Okay, like ASAP Rocky beats and everything, crazy. Yeah, so I think it was pretty cool to see that we have like very similar music interests. And FKJ, I just remember actually, did FKJ do like a show in Paris or something like that, where he had like a saxophone and he had like a whole bunch of other stuff? I think I caught that. I think if are we talking about the same person?
Magic City Hippies.
Okay, perfect.
Love them.
Dope. So, for your shows, would you ever consider incorporating like a live band performance?
Oh yeah, definitely. When that time comes, I do have a band. They were on the tracks. Yeah. I just gotta get that set up. So what I have been doing is using a DJ.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So I mean, another thing, do you think like when it comes to live bands, and when you incorporate them, do they make a huge difference in your music? Because most people, they don't use live instruments in their music anymore. Yeah, when they get into the studio, they're so in tune to using drum machines and all the other all the other mechanics when it comes into producing. So how much does live instruments, play a role in your music?
A lot. I feel like it definitely brings the song alive. Like it gives it a whole different feeling. It makes it more organic and personally. So that's something I really definitely want to incorporate.
Did you catch Roddy Ricch? He had a performance once where everything was on the keyboard. Did you catch that performance?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He had like a whole.
I bet it was nice too.
Nah, he was killing it. And the thing is, like, his voice, he doesn't use auto-tune, actually. Like, a lot of people are really surprised about that. That's just his natural voice. So yeah, he was killing on the keyboards and singing, like, a lot of his songs are melodical songs too. So, I definitely I agree that that's a different feeling, because a lot of people don't do like live bands and stuff like that anymore. Like, it's kind of sad. Even though, like, you can use like 808s and you can use like a whole bunch of like softwares, which is also really cool, but like there's nothing like a live band. It's like, even with drums,
exactly.
It's crazy. I remember even I went to Rolling Loud in New York City this past fall, and Gunna had a live electric guitar guy right on it. It made like the whole ambiance sound like different. It was just wild, crazy. That was a really good decision right there.
It's a different feeling. Like, it just gives you a different feeling. I love it. I really do.
You wind up feeling closer to the artist, honestly. Yeah. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So let's
get real creative.
Yeah. So let's talk about your debut mixtape real quick. Sounds Like Summr. What type of melodies or sounds were you looking for when you entered the studio, or like in general when you enter the studio? What type of melodies and sounds do you really look for?
I wasn't really looking for anything. I don't know. I guess because I already had a set of beats. And I was just going through them and picking which ones that I really like. And I wasn't even thinking about an EP at the moment. I was just like, I like these songs and I want to record them. And then later down the line, they turned into something different and then something different. And I added this and added that. And then I'm like, okay, well, you know what? This can definitely go on the EP. And then that's when I started to really get a grasp of now what I really wanted to put it together. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but
no, I feel you. I hear you.
I don't know. I didn't have a direction. That's the crazy part.
Okay.
I did.
I mean, because for the most part, I know where Mateo's coming from. A thing that stood out to me a lot from the minute that we booked you was when you told me you've been working on this for 2 years. And most people, they would say, for a 4-track EP, most people, there's nothing like being your own worst critic, but having people say, wow, that's a long time to be working on
four songs.
For 4 songs. So, how do you keep yourself like motivated? Like, this is the sound that I want to master, because when it comes to it, you were looking for a specific type of sound. You didn't go into the studio looking for like something in general, but you know what you wanted to hear. So my question is, like, in a sense, are you your own worst critic, or do you let people like come in and like, kind of criticize like the way you do things when it comes to your music anyways?
Both. Me being a Libra, I'm like really hard on myself, but I also care about what other people think. And then, okay, so why it took 2 years is because me starting out, I don't know anything, don't know how to make a song. Because like when people are like, okay, this person's taking 2+ years to make an album and but they really don't know what goes inside of making that album. And it's no joke. And especially with me in my first, EP, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to do anything. And then I've gone through so many engineering, personal issues, and it was a lot. But I also wanted to take my time, knowing that it was going to come out and rush it, especially I want to be a real artist. And this is what I'm passionate about, so to take my time and make sure I learn and practice and do what I got to do in order to make this. So that's another thing why it took 2 years. And I've had so many songs that was going to go on the EP, but I felt like they weren't good enough. And I was like, all right, well, they're going to get these 4 songs. The next one's going to be more than that, but this is what y'all going to get right now, because this is what Summr sounds like.
Yep.
So,
at the end of the day, you know your own timeline and you know what you want to put out. So Ain't no rush. We behind you. I feel you.
You can't rush
But-
greatness.
No, you can't. You can't.
Early in the morning, roll over then I light it. The smoke. Might go a few more rounds, or leave you down. Yeah, I don't wanna waste it. Might take a trip down Melrose, let the sun hit my skin. I feel like heaven. I feel like flying.